Coming up in episode 3, we'll be painting the walls in the great room. I'll be raising the windows in the shed. We'll be going to the public market for some shopping. And we're going to have our diseased maple tree in the front yard removed, along with some stumps that are going to be ground out. Plus we have other improvements to our 1905 cottage that I think you're absolutely going to love. Do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe and share, and stay with us. My wife and I have restored several homes before buying this one, and you know what? It always comes down to things like electrical, plumbing, insulation, and painting. Now, my wife not only is a great interior decorator, but she's also, over the years, has become known as a colorist. Well, what's a colorist? A colorist is somebody who has the ability to choose just the right color for a certain room or a certain house and so on and so forth. Well, she's done it again with this beauty. This is the great room of our 1905 cottage, and it's a large room, but all the walls were basically this dark knotty pine. So she came up with the idea of doing this kind of a beige color that you see around here, and now we're kind of continuing it around the room. What it's done is a couple of things. It's lightened the room up tremendously, and it's also giving a kind of a clean look that was missing before that. So stay with us as we colorize our great room. Now, one of the fun things about painting a room is putting on the blue painter's tape, and I'm saying that facetiously because it is a pain. But you got to be careful when you put it on, because in this case we want to make sure that we're not getting anything on the actual window, but it also has to have a clean edge, so it doesn't look like it was sloppily done, if you will. So that took quite a while, and I'll just give you an idea of how this has turned out. We're going to go around the room here. So we had to do the window, we had to do the door, and on either side of that door there was a closet. The other closet you can't see from this angle. And that continues around the room to actually the dining room. Now the dining room, you can see we've already applied the same color paint on the wall. So we decided that this middle section here was still too dark, so we're going to paint everything except for the door. And we're going to keep, of course, the look of that wonderful window there. And as you turn around, you can see how we did it with this large window over here. Aside from applying the painter's tape, which is a pain, the other pain is actually, when you're dealing with knotty pine, you have to get in between the little grooves. So if you just go to roll it, it's not going to work. So you have to go through every individual row and every individual groove, so it's a tedious process, but when it's done, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Well, it's nippy, I will tell you that. The wind is blowing right off the lake, and it's probably about, I don't know, 47, 48 degrees, something like that. But it's a very thrilling and exhilarating time for us right now. Some of their equipment is coming in right now.
How you doing? I'm Brian Newcomb, High Falls Tree Service. We're here today to take down a nice sugar maple in this nice, beautiful Webster weather. Hoping for a good, safe, and efficient day.
Well, another fun day at the Kirchers, as you can see, taking the old sugar maple tree down. Lots of fun. Well, there goes the first branch. Happy to see it go, because it really was a danger to our neighbors and automobiles and so on and so forth.
Hi, my name is Malachi Mamro. I work with High Falls Tree Service. We're going to be removing this sugar maple today. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
But also is where our new two-car garage is going to be located, so it needed to go. Now behind me is their loader, and they're backing it down now, and that turn up there is quite steep and it's sharp. This is what they're going to use to put the big logs that are sitting in my yard right now onto. Now there's one more stump behind the shed that I want to take out. These have been rotten for quite a long time, and that machine makes fast business of it, I'll tell you that. That would be hours of me chipping away with an axe. This is the last of the stumps. This is a big one, but he'll make fast business of it as he did the other three. The Rochester Public Market first opened in 1827 on Main Street and then moved to Union in 1905, the same year that our 1905 cottage came to life. Wow.
Get some apples for apple pie.
Okay. For over 195 years, folks have been walking the cobblestone streets of the market, buying the freshest produce and the most unique items not available anywhere else.
Three of these actually.
Oh, the strawberries?
We're just buying lemonade.
Exactly how she did it.
Okay.
You know why? She got a lot of strawberries.
But you wanted an additional 3?
No,
or just 2 more?
else
Okay,
together.
okay.
What is that?
So what do you put in? What's the mixture?
Yeah, it's a simple syrup.
Is that simple syrup? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And strawberries. Our daughter shopping. We're at the public market in Rochester, New York.
I got a fork here.
They're doing a brisk business here. What a fun place to come and shop. It's amazing. That's your own secret ingredients?
Yeah, water.
They have just about everything in it. Love it.
Right there. Thanks.
Oh, I get one. Oh, wow. Oh. What are you buying, Ted? Here's what we bought so far. All kinds of goodies down there, including duck eggs. The Rochester Public Market has been voted the best continuously operating market in the nation. And you know what? We can't wait to go again next Saturday. When I raised this shed several weeks ago to get it out of the mud, I actually jacked it up about 1.5 feet and put a whole new floor in. One of the inherent problems that was very apparent to me is that the windows were too low. This was made for a completely different purpose. It was just a storage shed. This is going to be the future home of my heirloom custom toys. And so I'm going to have workbenches in there that are going to be waist high. So now they are, if I raise all windows to the same height, and I'm going to do that on the other two sides. And then when that's completed, I'm going to scrape it and I'm going to paint it the same color that the new house is going to be painted, which is kind of that interesting blue color with white trim. So follow me and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the same operation for the other two windows. We hope that you subscribe, that you like and you share us, and we'd love to hear your comments. Now, as you know, this is an ongoing love affair, so who knows how long it's going to take for us to complete this thing. It could be 2 years, 3 years, but we hope you stay with us. So thank you for watching, and don't miss an episode. From this vantage point, you can see both windows. The window I just raised on the west side and the one I'm about to raise on the south side. This is the side that faces the park. Now I've got to go up 3 courses in order for them to match. So 1, 2, 3. This window will be raised almost under the eave of the side of the building, but it's the roof ridge, it's the angle of the ridge that dictates, you know, that placement. So that's just the way it's going to be. It'll look good when it's completed, but it may seem like I'm jamming it right under the roof, and in fact I am. Now when I go to the other side of the shed, which is the east side, it'll match the west side. I chose to repurpose the old windows opposed to going to a architectural salvage store and buying new old windows. I would rather repurpose them and also restore them. That's the whole point, is I'm restoring our 1905 cottage. And so it's a very simple operation. It may not seem to be simple, but it actually is. The first thing to do is to take off the framing, and then the sill comes off, and then I'm going to, with my circular saw, cut 3 courses out of here, and then they will be all scraped and sanded, and then I'm going to place them in their new position, which would be 1, 2, 3 to match this, and then I put the sill back on, and you'll see how that's done. And it'll look like, oh, this was always meant to be. Now I've already removed the side frame and the top frame, and they're old. They go back to 1905, so they're a little cracked, they're brittle, but when I finish sanding them and restoring them, they'll be almost good as new. Almost good as new. Now this is the sill to this window, and unfortunately it fell victim to carpenter ants. And you can see I've been sanding away here, getting down to the bare wood that doesn't have any damage, and it's a lot of damage. I may actually have to put a new sill in here, but for the time being, because the weather is not going to be cooperating tomorrow, I'm going to grind most of this out, put it in place, and then later on I'll replace it with a new sill. Carpenter ants are very destructive, that's for sure. Okay, so now I got the next 3 courses cut out, and I'm going to sand them a little bit, and I'm going to replace them in this order, so it now is going to reach this level. They are tongue and groove, so you have to sand away all the old paint that's been built up over decades in order for the groove to fit into the tongue. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, now it's a matter of reassembling. I put a nailer board on both sides so we have something to nail into, and you simply take each of these pieces that I cut off previously and you put it into place so the tongue fits into the groove and so on. And we're going to nail these, but I'm just showing you how it goes together, like this and like this. Tap it down. So there's a groove here that fits into a groove here. So again, a tongue and groove. And that goes in there simply like that. And then that gets nailed down, and then the window goes on top of this. So that's how it goes together. Okay, now we're going to check for level, and by God it is, so that's a good thing. There we go. And now I'm going to put the framing around, and then we'll set the window. I have my uprights in, and I'm just going to put the top cross piece in, and we'll be back in business. The next thing is to put the window in place. That's it. Here we go, putting the window in. There we go. Coming up in episode 4, we'll begin renovating that tiny little bathroom off the kitchen. Our plumbers will be locating our service lines to the road, so hopefully we get town approval for that new 2-car garage that we have in the planning stages. And we'll be replacing, by the way, that dilapidated sliding glass door, and the early stages of installing our generator will begin. All that is heading your way. So don't forget to subscribe and share. You know what? It's much appreciated. Thank you so much.